My mummy. My name is Peppa, and this book is all about my mummy. She's the best mummy in the whole wide world, and she's the prettiest. My mummy is very graceful. She's like a ballerina, except when it comes to picking blackberries. My mummy can be very serious. She's serious about playing with me and George. My mummy is very wise. She can read maps and then make paper aeroplanes out of them. My mummy always treats me and George like we're big people, but she's always there if we're frightened. My mummy can do anything she puts her mind to, especially if somebody tells her she can't do it. My mummy is very neat and tidy, but she loves jumping in muddy puddles almost as much as I do. My daddy. My name is Peppa Pig. This book is all about my daddy. He is the best daddy in the whole wide world, and he's the funniest. Poor daddy's got Peppa and George bouncing on his tummy. My daddy has an extremely serious job, but I don't think he's very serious at all. Have Peppa and George got their wellies on? They want to jump with Daddy Pig in the puddles. My daddy reads about very important matters, but I know that bedtime stories are his favourite. Are Peppa and George going to sleep? Good night, Peppa and George. My daddy loves taking us on trips to the seaside, especially when I bury him in the sand. Oh, poor Daddy Pig! Has Peppa and George buried him with their spades? My daddy is always extremely helpful and very, very brave, but sometimes I think he's just a teeny tiny bit clumsy. Oh, Daddy Pig, how on earth will you get down? My daddy is very good at planning DIY jobs, but he doesn't seem to be that good at actually doing them. Oh, Daddy Pig, you've made a mess. My daddy says he likes to keep in shape all of the time, but his favourite exercise is lifting the remote control. My daddy says he loves his little red car so very, very much, but I know that he loves us more than anything in the whole wide world. Peppa's Easter egg hunt. It's springtime. Grandpa Pig has made an Easter egg hunt for Peppa and her friends. There's Peppa Pig, there's Rebecca Rabbit, there's Freddy Fox, and there's George. And then there's Grandad Pig. There are lots of chocolate eggs hidden in the garden, says Grandpa Pig. Are you ready to find them? Yes, Grandpa Pig, everyone says. Off you go then, says Grandpa Pig. But be careful not to step on my plants. We promise to be really careful, Grandpa, says Peppa Pig. And off they go with their buckets. Peppa soon finds an egg hidden in a plant pot. I found one, shouts Peppa. Rebecca Rabbit finds an egg under a bush. Well done, Rebecca, that was hard to find. And Freddy Fox finds another in a wheelbarrow. Oh, everyone has found a chocolate egg. But what do we do now, Grandpa Pig? Asked Rebecca Rabbit. You eat your eggs, of course, laughs Grandpa Pig. I think that's the best part. Did you enjoy your Easter egg hunt, children? Asked Granny Pig. We found all the eggs, says Peppa. They're in our tummies now, says Freddy Fox. I think you can see they've enjoyed their eggs. Look at their mouths. Oh, good, says Granny Pig. Now let's go and see Jemima, Vanessa, Sarah and Neville. Oh, but they're just boring chickens, Granny, says Peppa. They have eggs too, Peppa, says Granny Pig. Can we eat them? Asks Freddy Fox. No, Freddy, laughs Granny Pig. The eggs are about to hatch. The baby chicks are hatching. Now the chicks have hatched, it really is Easter, says Granny Pig. Cheep, cheep. Peppa and her friends pretend to be the baby chicks and they all sing. I'm a little chick singing cheep, cheep, cheep. I like to pick up food with my beak, beak, beak. I've a fluffy yellow head and some straw for my bed, and I jump up and down singing cheep, cheep, cheep. Moana, my busy book. So we've got Moana, Maui and his big hook. There's Bua the pig, and we've got Hey Hey the rooster. So it's a storybook and it's got 10 figures. Should we have a little sneak? I think they're at the back. Here they are. I can't wait to have a look. Let's see, who have we got first? Oh, we have to look at Moana. She's got her big long hair. She looks like she's ready to take on the ocean. Oops, she went. Should we pop her here? There's Moana. And who should we go for next? Let's go for... That's Moana's daddy. There's the chief. And we'll put him next to Moana. And we've got, Moana's mummy. There's Moana's mummy. Should put her next to Moana's daddy. And we've got Moana's grandma. She's got her walking stick. There's Moana's grandma. Put her there. Who else? Oh, I think this one's my favourite. We've got Maui. Can you see his big tattoos? And look at his big hook. There's Maui. We'll pop him here. And we've got the Kakamora. I think they look quite cute. We've got one. I think there's another one in here. Another Kakamora. Can you see it? What else have we got? We've got, little Pua the pig. And we've got, there's Hey Hey the rooster. All the characters from the book. I cannot wait to read it. Should we have a look? So I'll pop these in here. Okay. There's Moana. So Moana grew up on the island of Montanui. Surrounded by her friends and family, they all just want what's best for her. Like her loyal friend Pua the pig. Pua believes in Moana no matter what. But Hey Hey the village rooster is just looking for food. Chief Tui and Sina, Moana's parents, want to keep Moana safe on dry land. Chief Tui hopes she'll be a leader one day just like him. But Grandma Tala, his mother, and Moana's grandmother is full of stories about the sea. Moana is drawn to the ocean, and she soon sets sail on her very own adventure. Along the way she meets Maui, a demigod who loves to boast about his skills, including his ability to transform into a high-flying hawk on a powerful shark. Te Fiti is the mother island, the source of nature and all the islands. Thousands of years ago, Maui stole and lost the heart of Te Fiti. Now this rawsome team must work together to restore the heart and restore Te Fiti itself. Maui's pulling a bit of a funny face, and so is Moana. They look like they're ready to take on the adventure. Pua looks excited, and I don't think Hey Hey knows what's going on. Wayfinders are navigators who sail the ocean in their travels. They discover many strange places and creatures, like the dangerous Kakamora. These fierce bandits want to steal the heart of Te Fiti for themselves. When Moana sets her mind to something, she'll never give up. She's strong-willed and ready for adventure. Over time, she learns to trust Maui, and most importantly, to trust herself and her wayfinding abilities. Today we're going to be looking at Disney's Moana, pop-up peekaboo book. Welcome to the island Motunui. There is so much beauty to see. Moana lives here with her family. Where do you think she could be? This is Grandma Tala looking for Moana. I'm wondering, I can see a big bush here. Do you think she's behind the bush? Let's take a look and have a peep. There she is, peekaboo. Here she is. Hello, Moana. Oh, I bet Grandma Tala's excited that she's found Moana. The island is good to Moana. It gives her what she needs. She's looking for Pua and Hey Hey. Are they behind the rocks and the trees? What do you think? Do you think they might be behind these rocks? Let's have a little look and see if we can see them. Oh, peekaboo! There they are. There's Hey Hey and Pua. There they are, hiding behind there. Let's have another look. Right. Maui can change into any creature when he uses his magic fish hook. Could that be Maui flying in the sky? Let's go and take a look. So Moana's on her boat and she's thinking, look, a hawk. And the hawk is going, screech, screech. Let's lift this up and see if we can see what's there. Peekaboo! The hawk was Maui all along. Moana has now become a big sister. She always shows Simia the way. Moana starts a game of hide and seek, and little Simia wants to play. Moana's thinking, where could Simia be hiding? Is she behind these little rocks here? I think we might be able to find her now. Let's have a look. Is she behind here? Oh, peekaboo! There she is. There's Simia. She was hiding there all along. Moana's on a wayfinding venture. She's got new friends by her side. Someone's hiding on Moana's boat. Have a look and see who you find. Who's hiding on the boat? Let's have a peep. Oh, wow! Peekaboo! It's Kotu! Oh, that's a really good book. I hope you enjoyed. Cinderella.
Ella and her father lived on their own in a big house. Ella adored dancing with her dad, twirling and whirling until her feet left the ground. She was very happy. Then one day her father came home with a new wife. She was incredibly beautiful, but her eyes were cold. "This is Lady Davina," he said, "and these are her daughters, Minty and Jewel." Ella was too stunned to speak. Nice house. It'll do." Minty and Jewel cared about nothing but clothes. Soon they had bought so many. Ella's father had to travel abroad to earn more money. "Look after my precious Ella for me," he said. "Don't you think I look divine in this?" "Green looks gorgeous with my eyes," said the daughters. But Davina did not. She made Ella a servant and left her in rags. At night, Ella slumped by the fire with only the mice for company. In the morning, her face was smeared with cinders. "Here comes Smudge," Jewel jeered. "Sooty snot-nose," Minty sneered. But if Jewel was cruel and Minty was flinty, there was nobody meaner than Lady Davina. "From now on we'll call you Cinderella," she snapped. "Call me what you like," thought Cinderella. "You won't change who I am." And the little mouse said, "Don't worry, Cinders." One day an invitation arrived from the palace. Jewel and Minty were wild with excitement and squealed at Cinderella to help them into their finest gowns. The invitation said, "Royal invitation. Everybody," that means everybody, "is invited to the prince's ball. Dress your best and put on your dancing shoes." "The prince better marry one of my daughters," Lady Davina hissed. "I don't care about the prince," said Cinderella. "I just want to dance." Davina and her daughters screeched with laughter. "You can't go to the ball. The invitation says dress your best, not rock up in your rags." Ugly laughter rang in the air long after they were gone. Cinderella was left alone in the kitchen. Her tears traced bitter tracks through the soot and dust on her face. "You don't want puffy eyes for the ball," came a kindly voice. Cinderella blinked at the strange lady before her. "Do you like pumpkins?" the lady asked. "And mice? How about lizards?" Stammered Cinderella. "I like them very much." "Jolly good," said the lady, walking her outside, waving a wand. Suddenly stood a gleaming golden coach with white horses and a driver in a lizard green coat. Ella felt a tingle in her face, a whizzy in her tummy and a buzzing in her head. When she looked down, she was wearing an elegant gown with sparkling glass slippers. "Oh, don't you look splendid," said the lady. "Now make sure you're home by midnight or you'll be stuck in a pumpkin with 2 rodents and a reptile." Taken, Cinderella danced with a charming young man. He made her laugh and sent her twirling and whirling. This was not the plan," said Davina. When she heard the chimes of midnight, she kissed her new friend on the cheek and sprinted out of the palace. The man ran after her, but all he found was a glass shoe, which had slipped off Cinderella's slender foot. The following day, Davina was fuming. "You two are useless," she screamed. "The prince didn't even look at you. He was too busy dancing with that ghastly girl. It's not our fault you didn't spend enough on our dresses," said the daughter. "Or our hairstyles." The next week there was a knock at the door, and in walked the prince. I'm looking for the girl who fits this slipper, he said. Me. Not me. But the daughters could not squeeze their knobbly feet into the shoe. Try harder. Then the prince asked, Is there anyone else? No. Only Cinderella the maid, said Lady Davina. The prince frowned. But I invited every person in the land, he said. Take me to meet her. Cinderella stepped into the gleaming glass slipper and it fitted perfectly. And when the prince brushed his hair from his face, he saw she was the love of the week before. Will you marry me? He whispered. Maybe, Cinderella said, once I know you better. Fair enough, said the prince, but what about these horrible women? Leave them, said Cinderella. They only value money, so they'll never be happy. Cinderella was right, and when her father returned from his travels, he threw them out of the house. From then on, Cinderella lived a blissful life, and she still loved to dance, twirling and whirling with her wonderful family.
The Three Little Pigs. There's 1, 2, 3, and there's the big scary wolf. There's a squirrel hiding in that tree. There were 3 little pigs, one named Horace, one named Boris, and one named Percy. They all lived together in a teeny tiny cottage in the forest. One day, Mummy Pig said, You're all too big to live here, so you must go and build houses of your own. But beware of the big, bad wolf. Take care that your houses are big and safe and strong. They're all packing their things. He's got a football. He's got his teddy bear. Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? Chuckled Horace. Not me, said Boris. And so the 3 little pigs set off. Before long, they reached a large field. I'll build my house right here out of straw, Horace cheered. Straw? Are you sure? Asked Percy. Oh, yes, Horace said. Then it's playtime for me. And with a pit-pat-pat and a hip-hip-hey, Horace built a house of straw. Soon after, Boris and Percy reached the edge of the woods. I'll build my house right here out of sticks, Boris squealed excitedly. Then I can go and play with Horace. Sticks? Is that wise? Asked Percy. Oh, it's perfect, Boris said. And with a stack, stack, stack and a tra-la-la, Boris built a house of sticks. All afternoon, Horace and Boris laughed and danced. They had quite forgotten their mother's warning. Oh, they're having so much fun. And there's the fish. He's got his nice new home. But Percy plodded on. I want my house to be safe and strong, he thought. Then he came to a brickyard. This is just what I need, he said. So, day after day, Percy worked with a rumbly bump and a tip-tap-tap and a heave-heave-ho, until at last the brick house stood tall and proud. You should be very proud of yourself. What a wonderful-looking house. The summer passed, and then one day Horace was taking a lovely bubble bath in his little straw house when he heard something growling. He peeped out of the window. He saw 2 big, beardy eyes. By my snout, cried Horace, it's the big bad wolf. And he knocked at the door. Little pig, let me in, bellowed the wolf. Not by the hairs on my chinny chin chin, yelled Horace. Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house down, cried the wolf. And he huffed and he puffed, and whoosh, Horace is down. The house came down with a 1, 2, 3. Horace yelled and he scurried all the way to Boris's house of sticks. Look out, he cried, diving behind the sofa. There in the window were big, beady eyes and sharp, pointy claws. It's the big bad wolf, Boris chattered. And he knocked at the door again. Little pigs, let me in, roared the wolf. No, not by the hairs on our chins, trembled Boris. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. And the wolf huffed and he puffed, and crash! Boris's house clattered down. Oh, look at the poor fish. He's fallen out of his house. Horace and Boris squealed and galloped all the way to Percy's house of bricks. Look out, they shouted. And Percy saw big, beardy eyes, sharp, pointy claws, and truly terrible teeth. It's the big bad wolf, he cried. Little pigs, let me in, cried the wolf. Not by their hairs on our chins, shouted Percy. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. So the wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed. But Percy's brick house stayed up. Whew, he looked exhausted. The big bad wolf couldn't believe his whiskers. I'm the big bad wolf, he howled. No tasty little pigs have ever get away from me. Oh, help, shivered Horace. He's on the roof. What shall we do? Asked Boris. Quick, I have an idea, whispered Percy. Yum, yum, yum. Here I come, laughed the wolf, and he slid down the chimney. Right into a giant pot of boiling water. Ow, 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 screamed the wolf, burning his bottom. Then he leaped up from the pot and ran away as fast as he could. After that, the three little pigs never saw the wolf again, and with help from Percy, they built one big, strong house where they could all live together. There's the 1, 2, 3 pigs, and Mummy Pig's come to visit, and she's got them some dinner. Little Red Riding Hood. Once there was a little girl who loved to wear red. She had red shirts and red skirts, red shoes, and a fabulous bright red cloak. Her name was Little Red Riding Hood. Early one morning, Little Red's mother packed up a basket. I have a very special job for you, she told Little Red. Granny is feeling poorly. Will you take her this fresh fruit? Of course, cried Little Red, and she put on her favourite cloak and kissed her mother goodbye. It was a bright sunny day, and Little Red skipped through the woods. Good morning, she called to the rabbit and the deer. I'm bringing Granny a special surprise. But someone was peeping from behind a tree. Who could it be? A big, hungry wolf. Good day, growled the wolf. What are you doing in the woods all alone? I'm taking this special basket of fruit to Granny, Little Red replied. Yuck, thought the wolf. He didn't like fruit. He liked to eat tasty little girls. So the wolf thought up a plan, a horrible, clever plan. Why not pick Granny some lovely flowers, he said. Oh, good idea, said Little Red. But as she started gathering daisies, the wolf raced down the path towards Granny's house. The wolf knocked on Granny's door with a thud, thud, thud. Is that you, Little Red, my dear? Called Granny. Yes, squeaked the wolf. Let me in, it's breakfast time. Oh, goody, said Granny, opening the door. What are we having for breakfast? You, cried the wolf. Yelled Granny. You're not Little Red. And she slammed the door right on his big furry nose. Ow, 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 howled the wolf. Quick as a flash, Granny ran out of the back door and into the woods to find help. Horrid old Granny, the wolf growled, rubbing his nose. But now he could put his terrible plan into action. So when Little Red knocked, tap, 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 on Granny's door, it was a deep, scratchy voice that answered. Come in, my dear. Little Red walked into Granny's bedroom and stopped in surprise. Why, Granny, she said, what big ears you have. The better to hear you with, my dear, croaked the wolf. And Granny, Little Red said carefully, what big, hairy arms you have. The better to hug you with, my dear, growled the wolf. But Granny, Little Red whispered, what big teeth you have. The better to eat you with, my dear, snarled the wolf, and he pounced at Little Red. Just at that moment, the door burst open. In rushed Granny with the woodcutter. Stop right there, yelled Granny. Put her down now, bellowed the woodcutter, or we'll chop you up and turn you into a birdhouse. With a terrified howl, the wolf jumped out of the window and ran far, far away, never to return. Little Red hugged Granny tight. I'm so glad you chased that wolf away, she said, and she gave Granny the basket of fruit. What a day of excitement, laughed Granny. Now, let's all have breakfast.
Let's have a little look at today's book, The Three Billy Goats Gruff by Kate Pankhurst. The Three Billy Goats Gruff. Let's see, there's a big one there, a medium-sized one, and a little one. High in the mountains lived three billy goats. They were called Baby Gruff, Middle Gruff, and Big Gruff. So I'm thinking that the little one is Baby Gruff, the middle one is called Middle Gruff, and that must be Big Gruff. All winter long an icy wind blew, and the billy goats ate only dry thistles and scraggly brambles. When at last the snow melted, they set off for the valley below. Down the mountain they trotted, trip-trap, to the old stone bridge. There, on the other side of the river, was the freshest, greenest grass they had ever seen. Look at that scrummy, yummy grass, said Big Gruff. Middle Gruff said, I'm so hungry I could eat the whole field. Can I go first? Can I, please? And so the billy goats lined up to cross the bridge. First, Baby Gruff, then Middle Gruff, and then Big Gruff. But under the bridge, hiding in the shadows, was a big, ugly troll. He had a terrible warty face. He had horrible pointy ears. He had awful stinky breath. And he liked to eat anyone who crossed his bridge. Look, he's got a recipe book saying, River Recipes for Trolls. Ooh, how awful. Even the snail is having a look. So when Baby Gruff skipped across the bridge with a trip, trap, trip. The troll sprang up from below, snarling and slobbering. Who's that tip-trapping over my bridge? Oh gosh, he looks very angry. It's me, Baby Gruff squealed. The littlest billy goat. I'm going to the meadow to nibble all the flowers. Oh, no, you're not, roared the troll. This is my bridge, and I'm going to eat you up for breakfast with some freshly buttered toast. Oh, my goodness. Poor Baby Gruff. Baby Gruff trembled. Please don't eat me, he squealed. I'm so little you wouldn't even taste me. Wait for my older brother, Middle Gruff. He's bigger and much tastier. The troll licked his lips. Bigger? Tastier? He cried. Then I'll eat him instead. Now be gone with you. And so Baby Gruff scurried over the bridge. Trip, trap, trip. Silly old troll, he giggled. Soon after, Middle Gruff clattered across the old stone bridge. Trippity-trap, trippity-trap. The troll leaped up once more, growling. Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge? It's me, Middle Gruff bleated. The next billy goat. I'm going to the meadow to munch all the grass. Oh, no, you're not, roared the troll. I'm going to gobble you up for breakfast with a nice glass of milk. He's not a nice troll, is he? Finally, Big Gruff thundered up to the bridge. Trip, trap, tromp. Rawr, roared the troll. Who's that trip-trapping over my bridge? He was very, very hungry by now. You can see, look, he's licking his lips. Ready. Big Gruff stomped his hooves. It's me, he grunted, the biggest billy goat. The troll's tummy was rumbling and grumbling. Up he jumped, bellowing, Here I come to gobble you up. No, said Gruff, pointing with his big strong horns right at the troll. Here I come. And he butted the troll right into the rushing river. Splash! Ah! Howled the troll as the river swept him far away. And so Gruff thudded over the bridge to join his brothers in the meadow. Trip, trap, tromp. Silly old troll, he chuckled. All summer long, the three billy goats Gruff crunched and munched the delicious green grass until they could eat no more. And they never, ever saw that silly old troll again. There they all are, look, eating flowers and munching grass. The end.